Hello and happy Blackoween! Hi, I'm Alex, this is Pucks and Paperbacks, and it is October 1st, which means Blackoween starts today, and so does my weekly vlog. I don't know if this is gonna go for a week, we'll see what happens in terms of reading, but I am so excited for Blackoween. It is one of my favorite readathons, and if you haven't heard of it, this is a month-long readathon created by the lovely Bree over at Locked Booktition. The links to her channel will be down below. Definitely go and give her some love because she's so great at what she does, and she uplifts crime fiction by Black authors. The objective of this readathon is to read books by Black authors that are horror, thriller, mystery, or crime fiction. I participated in the last couple years and I have so much fun every time I participate. Last year she introduced a map, and that map is continuing on this year. Last year I completed Joe's Library, so this year I am going for Nour Apothecary and reading some cozy mysteries. Besides the map, there are so many other elements of this readathon. First of all, you can pick a role which decides how many books you read to complete that place and go on to the next. I've picked role 1 to 2 because I would like to read 3 books, but it is more feasible for me to read 1 to 2 and then be able to move on to the next. Each place on the map has 6 reading prompts which determine what you're going to read, and to do that you have to either roll a die or set a number generator. I just did that in my fall reset video and I had a lot of fun. Here are the prompts I will be reading for. A cozy mystery with a pet. I'll be reading Wed, Red, and Dead by V.M. Burns, which you'll see I've already started. A cozy mystery with an amateur sleuth is Lemon-Filled Disaster by Tiara Moody. And for free space, I'll be reading Elementary by Elise Bryant. I cannot wait to read cozy mysteries this week. I started Wed, Red, and Dead, and I'm enjoying it. It is about a girl who her mom is supposed to get married and the wedding planner cancels, and then they hire another wedding planner and that wedding planner ends up being killed, and then they're trying to find out how. And our main character is a bookstore owner and she sells and writes mysteries. That is so fun, and why I love cozy mysteries. I love a good slasher horror, but sometimes I just need the cozy vibes and need to not think about things. I don't need to think about scenarios that could possibly happen. Of course, I will be still reading horror and mystery thrillers this month. I have a ton of vlogs coming out this month. My fall reset vlog I'm going to work on today and hopefully can get out today or tomorrow. And then we have this vlog, and last I will end with my Reading Queer Books vlog, which I do every year, so I'll link them down below. I did a lot of vlogs last year as well, which were really fun, and I'm very excited. I love the fall season, and it also means hockey is in 10 days. There's been preseason hockey that I've been watching, but as I'm watching preseason, I'm like, this doesn't count. Show me when it counts. It feels like a tease, honestly. But 10 days, I will be going to the Flyers home opener on the 19th, which you will probably see in that next vlog. I'll vlog a little bit. I got out my book decoration and I was re-watching a vlog from last year and I saw this decoration and I was like, oh my god, I totally forgot that I had this. So I decided to pull it out this morning. I have to get Halloween candy for my candy bowl. I also have my big bowl that I got, and it has all the Peanuts characters on it. Hello, it is Saturday and it is the first day of Red October. This means the Philadelphia Phillies, they are our baseball team, are in the playoffs. We won the division and I am just so excited. I have become a baseball fan over the last year and it's actually been really fun. However, I am very excited for hockey to finally start up next week. But I wanted to update because I believe the last time I updated you was Tuesday. And honestly, I don't have a big reading update. I had a lot of work this week and I was doing some YouTube stuff, so I didn't give myself a lot of time to actually read. But let's do a little update. All 3 books do not have audiobooks, and that is really kicking me. I'm a slow reader, and this is what happens when I don't have audiobooks. I do not believe I have an audiobook for any of the books on my TBR for this vlog, so I have everything on my Kindle. However, I feel like I read a little bit faster when I am on my Kindle, but like I said, I just haven't given reading a priority this week. I am 23 pages into Wed, Red, and Dead, and I'm really enjoying it. The writing is a choice. I'm not really enjoying the writing as much. I have read this author before, and the book was actually called 1 Part Sugar, 2 Part Murder, I think is what it's called. I listened to 1 Part Sugar, 2 Part Murder on audio when I read it, so this is my first time actually sitting down and reading a V.M. Burns book. It's just that it feels very, he did this because. As I'm reading, I'm just like, we could have edited some things here, only because it is more tell and less show. I like when authors show more than they tell, and that's not what's happening here. However, I am still enjoying it. It's fun. Cozy mysteries are so much fun to read. We're following Samantha Washington. She is a bookstore owner of Market Street Mysteries, so she sells mysteries, and her mother is about to get married in a week. 3 weeks ago, her mother sprung on a family that she was going to have her wedding on Christmas Eve. Now, it is a week before Christmas Eve. They are still trying to get bridesmaid dresses, and it is a hot mess. I really enjoy that Cozy Mysteries add more layers to the book. We have some young characters who Samantha has brought in as her own. She also lost her husband Leon. There's a lot of emotions here. I think it's really interesting too that it's set around Christmas because this cover does not give me Christmas. I'm not getting Christmas from this cover at all. So I was really surprised when it said that. But I think it was snowing at one point, so that made sense. But it is interesting to read a winter book when it's not winter. But so far, I'm enjoying it. I haven't gotten to the mystery, so we'll see how that goes. As for the rest of the week, I did end up getting Halloween candy. I also went to Trader Joe's and I got some things, and then I found out a couple items that I like are discontinued, so I was being totally normal about that. I am going to extend this vlog another week because, like I said, I definitely would not have gotten through all these books this week. It sucks that I don't have the audio because that would really help me, and I am not somebody that wants to force myself to read if I'm not feeling it. I just don't want to do that to myself, even if it's just for a video. So we'll see what happens. I am excited to read the rest of the books on my TBR. This might just be a slow and cozy vlog, which I love personally. I think what I'm going to do is just set these vlogs to be 2 weeks for each. So my queer book vlog will be 2 weeks, and then this one will also be 2 weeks. So that'll work. I'm planning for the queer books vlog to come out on Halloween, so hopefully I can do that. Also, I posted this on Instagram, but I know everybody is so excited about the new Heartstopper season. I personally don't have Netflix anymore. I think I canceled it like over a year ago because it's just gotten so expensive. I was sat last night watching the first episode of a new hockey documentary on Amazon Prime, Face Off into the NHL. I watched the first episode, it was incredible, and now it is my reward once I finish things up, and probably once I read more of this book, to be able to watch the next episode. That's actually been helping me a lot, because if not, I will literally binge the whole entire series, and they're like hour-long episodes, but I'm loving it so much. Hello, it's been a while. It is Thursday, October 10th, and I have not finished a single book. However, I thought that I would check in because I've been trying to think about why I haven't finished this book and what my problems are. And I had told you last that the writing was just not for me, and I went and checked. This book was published in 2019, and the latest book I read from this author was 2022. Her writing definitely got better. I just feel very bored by this book. I'm 37% in, we just got to the murder, and I have just been trying to think about why I don't like this book. I don't have these experiences very often, so it's hard to be like, is it the book or is it just me? Because I haven't been picking up a book, I haven't really been into reading, I have been focused more on sports. However, my baseball team did disappoint me last night and lose, and now they are out of the playoffs, so that's very fun for me. And what's more fun is then hockey starts tomorrow. This is how I know that reading is a hobby for me, because I would say hockey always comes first for me. It's my main interest, and now that hockey season is picking back up, I'm consuming more content about hockey and I'm not picking up a book. And I really need to change that because I'm excited to read these books. Now, the book does have its problems. I am not enjoying some of the language revolving around weight. There's a lot of weird language about that. I know my reading taste very well, so it's very rare for me to get an instance where I don't like a book. And honestly, I'm just not connecting to the characters, and that never happens to me. It's just that there's nothing it's giving me to be rooting for us to figure out why this happened. And I always say this about mystery. Mystery can be really hard for me to read sometimes if I'm not engrossed by the first chapter. It's very interesting to me because a wedding planner dies and you're trying to figure out why. And I genuinely think that we could have just had more time with this person because it feels very abrupt that she ends up dying and then the whole book is going to be trying to figure out what happened, and I understand that's what a cozy mystery is, but I just need more time to connect to all the characters. And if it's like 75 pages in that the person dies and then we're trying to figure it out, then I'm pretty lost. Then on the other side of this, I feel like it's a me problem because I'm just not reading the book, so if I'm not really picking it up, then obviously I'm gonna get disconnected. But then the book is not giving me anything to make me want to pick it back up. But I am going to finish it. And I'm not just doing that for the video and for the readathon. I'm genuinely curious to see if it gets better and see if I end up enjoying what happens because I am interested in this. But the thing is, it's just that mysteries have to pull me in by the first chapter or I'm gone. The wedding planner has died and the groom is at fault. Everybody suspects that it's him and he's trying to clear his name. And so everybody in the town chips in and says that they will help with the wedding. Somebody offers their restaurant, somebody offers to do a wedding cake, flowers, etc. So I think it's going to get better now that we're gonna get over the hump, but I am just so disconnected from this story and this never happens to me. This is why I'm like, is it a me problem or is it a book problem? And I think it might just be both. I think I am not really in the mood to read, especially read this book because it's elementary is so on my mind, but I just want to finish this book. Hopefully I will be able to pick it back up. I am going to read right now and see what I can get finished, and hopefully I can finish this book. So I just wanted to check in with you, let you know what's going on, and I will hopefully be back once I have an update about this book. Hopefully it's positive. Hopefully things go well. It is officially Sunday, October 13th. It is around 3 p.m. and I just finished Wed, Red, and Dead. I am so happy. I have been reading this book for way too long, and so I'm gonna condense this vlog to just 2 books. So my next read will be It's Elementary. I'm so excited. After I film this clip, I literally will start reading It's Elementary. For the last week and over the weekend, I've just been watching hockey. I watched some AHL hockey last night while I made cookies, which were fun. And today I went to Walmart and I got some things, including this. This is a vampire Snoopy and he looks so good on my dresser. I love it. So adorable. Shout out to Walmart. How freaking adorable. And I found these pumpkin cookies by Dolly Parton's brand, so I will be making those in my next vlog. But let's talk about Wed, Red, and Dead, because I still have the same problem. I just didn't like it as much as I liked her other books, so I think that series is more for me. I caught myself as I finished the book and my Kindle showed me the rest of the series. I was like, oh well, maybe I'll start from the beginning because this is like book 4. But the writing is just not for me. The story dragged. It was boring at some parts. Also, Samantha, she's a writer and she writes British historical mysteries, and it was a snooze fest. Only because she is copying the same exact narrative from the book. Like, the mystery that's going on, she is just copying and pasting that into this British mystery. So I'm like skimming because I'm like, okay, this already happened, this already happened. Give me something fresh. Or also, I wish that it could have connected things. There are all of these instances where she sits down to write. Specifically, she was at her mother's bachelorette party and she's like, oh, well, I don't drink. And then she just takes her notepad out and she starts writing her mystery. And I'm like, what? How can you start writing at a bar where there's a lot of dancing and music and you're at a bachelorette party? It just doesn't seem right. It just is confusing to me. As I was reading and continuing this book, I keep trying to ask myself, what's the problem here? And I think there's a lot of scenes that needed to be cut out because nothing was furthering the plot. There was just some randomness that I don't think needed to be there. Kind of felt like we had some filler. And I really wish that the mystery would have helped the character because she's trying to figure out what happened to the wedding planner, but she's just sitting down to write because she likes to write. And it's nothing like, oh, this helped me figure out this. The detective literally told Samantha that she should try and figure out who did it. Nana Jo was on the case. She was asking everybody the right questions, and Samantha was just writing her fictional mysteries. And also like tending to these 2 children, orphans that showed up randomly. They speak Italian. That was so random. Like, I understood later why it was added, but I was just like, what is going on here? Somebody did mention that cozy mysteries are a lot like Hallmark movies, and I totally agree. So I am quite bummed that I wasn't a huge fan of this because I was very excited for it. However, this just taught me that I'll read the author's newer works and not her backlist. But maybe I will. I don't know. If you've read her before, let me know. Maybe this just wasn't the book for me. I just think there's too much going on, honestly. I wish we would have just focused on the wedding, focused on the mystery, and that was that. Last year, I read Body and Soul Food, and I really enjoyed the way that that was organized. So I would recommend that, as well as the books I've already mentioned. So those are my final thoughts on Wed, Red, and Dead, and I'm just gonna read you the trigger warnings. Trigger warning for gambling, blackmailing, alcoholism, a car accident that leads to death. This is not specific, as there's no description. It's just that the orphan kids, that's how their parents died, so it just is mentioned that that's how they died, but there's no graphic scene or anything. The orphans, their names are Lexi and Angelo, and they come clean about being abused by their foster family. So huge trigger warning for that because they talk about like bruises and being beaten and then go into detail about the alcoholic foster father, and it's very intense. Also, can I just say, this woman is in her early 30s yet says that she has been married for 25 years. And I'm like, listen, I'm not very good at math, but the math is not mathing there. I was like, how the hell have you been married for 25 years, but you're like 32? I don't understand that. I genuinely don't understand. This is what I mean. I needed more depth and things to be fleshed out more, because instead it's just like the character says it and then we kind of move on and I'm like, wait. What? I don't understand. Like I've already mentioned, there's a lot of talk about weight. There's also a scene where somebody literally says the specific weight of somebody. That was very odd. And overall, I feel there was a lot of fat phobia. Just in terms of people saying like, oh, I can't eat that. Or just like weird weight gain and just talk about weight. Very uncomfortable. And also, we have murder, death, death by strangling, loss, grief. And I think that's it. There are 2 dogs, Snickers and Oreo, so that was cute. But I wasn't a big fan of this one. However, I am very excited to read It's Elementary, so that's up next. Hello, it is Wednesday. I'm coming at you from my phone because my camera is currently charging, but I hope you can hear me because they're doing really loud yard work outside, which is why I brought the microphone out. I wanted to update because I am 22% into It's Elementary. I am loving it as expected. It's already 12:40, so we'll see what happens. There are no obligations today, so I am just gonna sit here, read my book, and I'm going to make some apple cider. I got these K-cups from Mott's. I'm going to cozy up, read my book, and I'll speak to you soon. Happy Friday! I'm sat with my coffee and I am going to finish up It's Elementary. I am 75% in. I am loving it so much. Honestly, I was up late watching hockey. Thankfully, they did not go to either overtime or a shootout, so I did end up at least going to bed at midnight. When I've been watching this West Coast trip, I was maybe going to bed at 2 in the morning. So it's 9 a.m. I'm sat with my coffee and I'm ready to finish this book. I am loving it so much and I can't wait to see how it wraps up. I cannot wait to read more Elise Bryant books because I have her debut YA, so hopefully I can fit that into next month's hopefuls. So I'm gonna drink my coffee, finish this book, and I'll talk to you soon. This is getting scary. Honestly, suburban moms are scary. I totally get it. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so cute. Perfect ending. Perfect conclusion to this book. I am going to get myself together and then I will see you to properly talk about this book. Much better. Now let's talk about It's Elementary so I can convince you to pick it up. This cozy mystery is gripping, it's a page turner, it's funny, and has a really sweet romance that I loved. We're following Mavis, who is a single mother. She lives with her retired father and her 7-year-old Pearl. When she's dropping her off at school one morning, she's approached by Trisha, who is the president of the PTA, and Trisha asks her to be a part of the DEI. DEI stands for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and Mavis is not buying this. In my B-roll, I shared a clip of the scene where she's talking about it, so I'll just read it to you. DEI stands for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. My cheeks are going to hurt the rest of the day from smiling like this. Yes, I know what DEI stands for, as does every Black woman in the workforce since 2020, when seemingly every industry discovered this magic combination of words. DEI means diversity, equity, and inclusion. Sure, but it also means free labor to be given willingly to fix problems that we didn't create. It makes a box checked with no real change made. Mavis is like, this is fucking bullshit. I don't have the time for this. Cozy mysteries can be funny and very lighthearted, but I love that they touch on social issues, especially in this book. I already said it in this vlog, but I love cozy mysteries for that, because you could just have like a silly, goofy book, but instead they are talking about real issues here. I really loved that in this book. I'm not gonna really talk about it too much because I don't want to spoil you, but you could see in the clips that I filmed, I was hooked on this book, and I love that. I almost didn't watch hockey so I could finish this book. And honestly, the way that that game went last night, I probably should have just read the book and went to bed. I really liked the mystery here. Elise Bryant did a great job with her adult mystery debut. I cannot believe that this is her adult debut. And I was reading the acknowledgements where she said that she didn't think she would ever write an adult book because she didn't want to put a sex scene in there. And I was like, we don't need to. So I'm hoping that she does write more adult and more adult romance, because I really, really love the way that she wrote this book, and the romance I was so here for. She ends up teaming up with the school psychologist Jack, and I loved that duo so much. His brother has Down syndrome, so you see some of that representation, and Jack was just so sweet. I loved him so much, and honestly, I wish I could have gotten more time with him. But I really liked seeing how Mavis navigated this. There was a lot of obstacles in her way, and I really just loved her character development and her character overall, because she is not perfect. She is blatantly disregarding what a lot of people are saying to her, and she's just saying, oh, I'm so busy, because she's so caught up in this mystery. I really admire the way that she wrote this, because I kept coming back to the book that I recently read, Wed, Red, and Dead, and I was like, what do I like in here that maybe could have been fixed in Wed, Red, and Dead, or I wanted to have in that book? This book had stakes. Once the stakes were put in, I was like, okay, because we didn't really have that in Wed, Red, and Dead. It was just like, oh, the wedding can't go on unless we find out what happened, and to me that wasn't very realistic. But in this book, everything felt realistic, especially when we had some turmoil and conflict, because, you know, usually we have maybe like a third act breakup or something and you're just like, oh my god. But I really enjoyed the way that she added conflict, because it felt very realistic. We got an epilogue that was set on Halloween. I really loved Pearl. And I loved the moments that she added, because I'm not a parent, but I just feel like it was so realistic, and you could tell that she was writing from experience, because I believe she has a couple kids. She's on her computer and she's researching this man that they think is connected to the disappearance of the principal. And her back is turned. Pearl is playing with some princess stickers and she just keeps saying like, mommy look, mommy look. It just felt so realistic, because she's trying to appease Pearl while she's trying to look this up, and I think that that was great foreshadowing to what happens at large in the book of her learning that she is neglecting a lot of things because she's so hooked on this because of the stakes. Because everybody's like, you don't need to solve this. Why do you think you need to solve this? And I will say the funny part was that they were amateur sleuths. There were some scenes where Jack and Mavis would go to interview some suspects or just people that were around. Specifically, they end up going to a house that is near the school. It's so funny to me because they both like just don't even communicate with each other to be like, okay, this is what we're gonna ask them. They're just like, okay, here's the idea, and then they go. Now I could say that is something that maybe we could have added a little bit, would have loved a little bit more communication, but that leads to the comedy of the book because they show up on these women's doorstep. In Mavis's mind, she knows how this is going to play out, but when it doesn't, her and Jack are just looking at each other like, uh-oh, what do we ask next? I'll also say she added some references to detectives. I had to Google them, honestly, because I had no idea who they were talking about. I don't watch, like, NCIS, that was mentioned a lot, and I do not watch, like, X-Files or any of those kind of shows. So if you do, I think you'll appreciate those little references, but I had to Google because I was like, I have no idea who they're talking about. Because they would give each other nicknames based on the characters, and I would just be like, I don't know. So I think if you are a parent, you'll really enjoy this. But overall, if you just want a lighthearted, should I even say lighthearted? Because some of the issues are very big. It does talk about a lot of life issues. So I don't know if I can really say that it's like lighthearted. It has a lot of comic relief, but I love the twists and turns. Because like I was saying earlier in this vlog, cozy mysteries can be predictable. This one, I couldn't have predicted it at all. I was sat and I was so here for this mystery, and I really hope I can find another book that gives me that because I was so here for this. So it is lighthearted and funny, but it is gripping at times and nerve-wracking, anxiety-inducing, but overall, I really enjoyed this and I highly recommend it. I think even if you're not a fan of cozy mysteries, I would say this would be a great way to start, especially if you like books about social commentary. It was comped as Abbott Elementary, but I would maybe comp it as Mean Girls? I don't know if that's a stretch, but I just felt like the PTA moms were so Mean Girls coded. I was also just wondering if maybe that's what she was inspired by, because I felt like this one character, Corinne, she was so reminiscent of Gretchen Wieners. I could not stop thinking about her. She had red hair, she had 2 boys, and she was just not sure what to do. I honestly felt like if the Mean Girls characters were adults and mothers, this is exactly what they would be like. I don't know if it's just that this is how suburban mothers are, but the way she wrote them, I just kept thinking about Regina George and Gretchen Wieners. I don't know if it's just my millennial, but that's what I felt. And that's gonna be it for this vlog. Thanks so much for watching. The best way to support my channel is to give this video a like and leave a comment. Let me know anything about cozy mysteries. Leave me some book recommendations. I would love more cozy mysteries. Maybe if there was anything that you liked about this vlog, and if not, you can just leave a Halloween emoji down below. Maybe the magnifying glass, since we were talking about cozy mysteries. My next vlog will be reading queer, creepy books, so stay tuned for that. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Alex. This is Pucks and Paperbacks, where I love to talk about queer and trans books, so if you're into that, feel free to hit subscribe. Thank you so much to my patrons for their continuous support of this channel, and here is a video that YouTube wants you to watch next. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon.